The war in Ukraine grinds on. The world watches with bated breath. Could this be a turning point? After more than a year of brutal conflict, whispers of peace talks have emerged. The hope is fragile. The path is uncertain. Yet the very possibility of negotiations offers a glimmer of hope in these dark times. The stakes could not be higher. Millions have been displaced. Thousands have lost their lives. The world teeters on the brink of a wider conflict. Into this maelstrom steps former President Donald J. Trump. Trump, never one to shy away from the spotlight, has thrust himself into the role of would-be peacemaker. He has met with world leaders, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He has spoken of his desire to bring an end to the bloodshed, but Trump's motives are not entirely clear. Is he driven by a genuine desire for peace, or is he seeking to advance his own political agenda? The world watches, waits, and wonders. Riyadh played host to a high-stakes diplomatic gathering. Representatives from Ukraine and Russia met face-to-face. The goal was ambitious, to find a path to end the conflict. The talks, brokered by Saudi Arabia, lasted for 12 long hours. The outcome was inconclusive. No formal agreement was reached. However, there were some glimmers of progress. A provisional ceasefire was agreed upon in principle. This fragile truce, set to last for 30 days, offered a brief respite from the violence. But the ceasefire was marred by continued fighting. Russia, despite agreeing to the truce, launched nightly drone attacks on Ukrainian cities. These attacks, condemned by Ukraine and its allies, underscored the fragility of the peace process. The blame game began almost immediately. Russia accused Ukraine of sabotaging the talks. Ukraine, in turn, pointed to Russia's continued aggression as evidence of its lack of commitment to peace. Amidst the ongoing fighting, a separate deal emerged. This agreement, brokered by the United States, focused on the Black Sea. The goal was to ensure the safe passage of grain shipments from Ukrainian ports. But the deal came with a steep price tag. Russia demanded and received significant concessions. Sanctions on Russian agricultural products and fertilizers were lifted. Rosalkhozbank, a major Russian bank, was removed from the sanctions list. The move sparked outrage in Ukraine. Zelensky, who had opposed the sanctions relief, accused the West of appeasing Russia. He argued that the deal would only embolden Putin and weaken Ukraine's position. The Black Sea deal highlighted the complex web of international relations at play. It also underscored Russia's willingness to use its leverage to extract concessions. The deal was seen by many as a Russian victory, a demonstration of its ability to play the West against itself. The world watched with a mixture of hope and skepticism. The ceasefire in Ukraine, however fragile, offered a glimmer of hope. But the Black Sea deal, seen by many as a Russian power play, underscored the challenges ahead. Europe found itself increasingly isolated. The United States, eager to broker a peace deal, appeared willing to make concessions that Europe was not. This divergence in approach threatened to undermine Western unity. The war in Ukraine had exposed deep divisions within the international community. It had also highlighted the limits of diplomacy in the face of naked aggression. The path to peace, it seemed, would be long and arduous.